Today in VR, the gaming showcase is only 2 weeks away, and Meta has been hinting at different types of games. They've given us 2 tweets with a bunch of emojis, so we try and decipher them. Elsewhere, Apple's VR headset is probably very likely coming in 3 weeks on June 5th. So we talk about that, get excited, and talk about what we think that this headset will be. And also, the PlayStation VR showcase has just been announced for next week. So we have PlayStation next week, we have Oculus Gaming Showcase the week after, or Meta Gaming Showcase, and then the week after that we have Apple VR. It's all heating up, folks. Bring in the popcorn, and let's talk Oculus. Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 87. I'm your host, as always, Dan from Playtest VR, and the woo-woo guy, Samson, as always. How do you do?
I am doing well. Got in a lot of VR, hung out with people in VR a good amount over the last week. Good amount of VR news I'm kind of excited about, especially this Apple thing. And yeah, great weather. Just feeling positive. How do you do?
By the way, I got this, like, if you're on the video podcast, I got this little Zelda.
Oh, nice. You've been playing, huh?
Oh yeah. I've been out of the VR and into a different type of flat screen game, but we might talk about that a little bit at the end of the show. But yeah, I'm not too bad. I came back from a week-long trip in Toronto because my sister now lives there. Watched a lot of baseball. Watched the Maple Leafs lose. The same team that the Boston.
Your parents going to come to Canada? The whole family seems to...
We're trying. It's just the visa process is a little bit slow for older people, shall we say. But that's the dream. That's the dream. But got a bit of VR in today, so we'll crack into that. And it's really hot. Vancouver's at 87 degrees Fahrenheit, or 31 degrees for the Canadian and UK peeps. Or anyone else. I feel like America's the only one who does Fahrenheit, to be honest.
I believe the Australians also, and I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
The Australians drive on the right side of the road.
Am I wrong?
The Brits.
I could be really wrong. I might have just made that up, dude. I don't know.
I was like, Australia does a lot of stuff that the UK do, and for some reason they'll switch their Fahrenheit. Maybe.
No, all right. Let me see. All right, it's formally in addition to a few South American and some countries in the Pacific. So I made that up. So yeah, not Australia at all. Sorry for all the Australian listeners. And for anybody who's just like, what a moron. I can't trust anything he says.
No. Just switch it off now. The VR spiel that's coming out of your mouth.
I heard it from AI. I'm going to blame it on AI.
Fair enough. AI. Okay, let's get into the show. What have you been playing, Samson? What is the VRing that you speak of?
The VRing.
The
VR. VR. King of the nation. All right. I have been playing Walkabout for VR. I'm in a couple leagues, you know.
How have you been doing in the tournaments?
Well, I joined the Walkabout League like pretty late, so now the playoffs start this week, and I'm not in them because I think I joined halfway through, and then VR just started, and my team we're okay according, we're all about the same. Unfortunately, everybody else is better.
Is this bowling?
This is bowling. This is bowling.
Yeah.
You know what happened also? Just a funny story. Well, I forget who I was playing with. I believe it was Jenna and Dave. And one of them threw their bowling ball at me. And I actually reacted and felt like... I felt a ball hit me. It felt like something hit me. I was so immersed. It was bonkers.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that was weird.
Yeah. I do remember there's one back in Resident Evil 7 for the PlayStation VR. There's a scene right at the start where you're sat at the table with all like the monsters or the creepy family, and they start feeding you like maggots and such, and you go back and you feel a bit gross. It's that immersion.
Oh no!
It's wild. It's pretty gross, but fair enough. Bit of bowl. I've not played that bowl for ages, to be honest. I need to get back into that. Yeah, go on.
Your story makes me think. I wonder if you could like train yourself to like foods that you don't necessarily like that you might want to like.
Well, is that like
doing that by doing like watching a video of you eating that food but tasting something else? I don't know.
You're basically telling me if I play Kill It with Fire with all the spiders, it's going to remove my fear.
You just have to take it head on.
Fair enough. I've been playing Arcanade. You played Arcanade, right? Because they sponsored the show a couple months ago.
I did. I played, I believe, through the first level and the first boss.
Fair enough. Arcanade, for those of you who don't know, like I said, they did sponsor the show a couple months ago. Not anymore, though, so this is completely off the sponsorship. But it's basically
I did receive the game for... I did get a code for it.
We did receive the game for free. But it's basically Pistol Whip off the rails, in a way. Like, it has that kind of feeling of that art style and such, and you got loads of enemies shooting at you, and you shoot headshots, you get more points and such. One thing that's really cool about it is that the guns, your standard pistol is your standard pistol. I actually don't like the standard pistol because all the other guns are way better. You've got the machine gun, the shotgun, you've got this laser gun, you've got a grenade launcher. It goes on and on. There's loads of guns that you can kind of pick up as you go along the level. And it's really fun.
Basically all the classics.
All the classics. It's boss fight galore.
It took me a while to figure out how to beat the first boss. I feel like I remember that.
Yeah,
but yeah, the boss. You just got to figure it out, and then you do it.
It feels like classic old games, where there's big bosses and you have to find out. It's kind of like the Zelda, to be honest, games where when you're fighting the bosses, you kind of just got to figure out how to beat them. There's a specific kind of way to beat them, and that's the way to do it. And it's the same in this one. I got through two of the bosses. The second one took me ages. It's like a big worm thing, and I was like, I don't understand how do I beat this person or thing, But you kind of figure it out in the end. I also want to say the loading times are the fastest loading times I've ever seen in a Quest game. Like, as soon as I clicked the thumbnail on the dashboard, instantly in the game, picked up the arcade gun, shot campaign or whatever you call the story mode, and then went straight in immediately. And I was like, this is the fastest. I've not waited for anything. I'm straight in, which is really cool. Aside from like just the gunplay, there's no dual wielding. At least I haven't seen any dual wielding, which I feel like would be perfect for this game. But there's like a shield mechanic. Co-op would be cool. There's a shield mechanic. There's a timer, like a stopwatch on your wrist, on your hand, where you can stop time or like slow down considerably, which is nice for a fixed amount of time. And the music's solid as well. To be honest. Yeah. So I'm having a good time with it. I think the only thing I'm missing is that if I'm thinking about Pistol Whip, how the Pistol Whip's got those like short campaigns with like a little bit of a story mode. I kind of wish that this had the same, where it has
the whole thing is a campaign.
It does, but it doesn't feel like there's any story attached to it in a way. Like I wish there was like some little story beats in between. But at least the first two levels were quite varied, to be fair, in terms of the map and such. But I do wish there was a little bit of a story going on. But aside from that, like, I'm having a great time. I can't believe I didn't play this 2 months ago. But yeah, that's Arcanade. Did you play anything else?
I did. I started Moss again. I played about an hour or so.
The first one? I was
trying to... Yep, the first one.
Yep.
No, it's very beautiful. There's suddenly like really intricate, nice things that go on. But yeah.
Can you play that on PC VR as well?
Yeah, I was actually playing it on Steam this time. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Because I was playing 2 on PlayStation VR not too long ago actually, and that game's beautiful and it's very relaxing just to sit down and just go through the story. Yeah, big fan of that one, to be honest.
And even you don't have to be good at combat games to be good at it, right? Like
no,
yeah, not at all.
It's just
and anytime you're one-on-one with an enemy, you have an advantage because it's technically you and Moss or Quill, if you will, you and Quill, and so you can just grab the enemy and boom.
Yeah, I
Big
do that
bam,
all the
boom.
time. Just grab the little turtles or the spider kind of turtles and just like, okay, you're done.
And
Sweet.
outside that, I play. Oh, this game Grip, Grip Combat Racing, I believe it's called, is on PC. It's a
Okay.
flat screen game, but you can play. It also has VR mode. It's like it comes with the game. You don't got to do nothing. And I played about like an hour or so of that. It felt all right. So at first it puts you in third person, and I was like, this game feels slow. And then I was like, where's first person mode? And first person mode feels way better. But it's crazy because it's a game where you can drive on the ceiling and you do flips and stuff, so it can get kind of intense at times, but it's fun. It's pretty fun. And it's a combat racer, so you can shoot homing missiles, machine guns, you get a shield, stuff like this.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. I got to convince like a couple people to get it or something like this, because that's really the point in playing that. But yeah.
I feel like that's a lot of games that you play is to convince other people to play it, because they all have that multiplayer / co-op aspect to it. Right?
Yeah, it's a combat racer. I mean, I can play the bots, but I want to shoot my friends while they drive.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then outside that, I got into and played the tutorial, all 4 or 5 tutorials, I guess, for Cards and Tankards, which is a deck building game. And you can play it on Steam flat screen as well, on the Steam Deck, too.
Actually, I want to talk to you about the Steam Deck, but we'll leave that till the end of the show. But is this on Quest, or is it just on PC VR?
No, it's Quest as well.
Quest.
It's on Apple App. So good luck finding it. Yeah.
So what, is it like a lot of preset card games, or you could just make your own card game?
No. It's like you're playing Magic the Gathering, right? It's like its own card game.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
And you play at a table, and then you've got little characters. Like you play a card, and a character like little pop up, and then you have an attack zone that you got. Like you got to wait a turn and move them into the attack zone.
That's cool. You know what they need to make? They need to make Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean, it plays like Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or whatever. Yeah, it plays like those.
I'm just imagining with the monsters popping up and such, and I was like, Yu-Gi-Oh would be sick. The only reason why I say is because last week, just Yu-Gi-Oh popped up on my YouTube, and I don't know how. I think I remember typing in Looney Tunes, but I don't know how that related. But it was the first episode, so I put it on, and I was like, damn. This is solid back in the day. I don't
think I've ever seen it.
It's the first 2 episodes, and yes, I've watched more than one now. Start off real hot, like you go straight to the
on
boss.
YouTube.
Yeah. They're all on free on YouTube, and they're like 20 minutes long, and it's just good. And the intro song to Yu-Gi-Oh is just a banging tune as well.
Yeah, is it copyrighted? Can we play it for the people?
I feel like I won't put it on, but you can just search Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, no, that sounds really fun actually. I might have to check that out. What's it called? Cards and
Cards and Tankards. Tank, like a tank, and then cards.
Cards and Tankards. Okay, I will add that.
It's free. It's free. So
it's free on Apple.
Makes it very appealing.
Nice. Anything else? Or is that?
That just about wraps it up. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that now that it's like 87 degrees Fahrenheit, VR is tough.
AC. You need an AC.
It looks like I might be moving out of this place to a different place at the end of the year, so I can't justify buying AC because most likely the new place will have an AC. That's what I'm thinking. So I can't justify us. Although I'm gonna be dying in this room anyway.
Do you have AC in any part of your place currently? No. Does your living room have AC?
Oh, no, my roommate upstairs, he has got AC in his room, so I can just sit in his room. But anyway.
Dude, they're not that expensive, dude. You can find them on the street at a college at the end of the year or something like this.
That is very true. It might be a year like last year. I remember we went for 6 weeks running of me not playing VR. That was more to do with traveling reasons than anything, but I'm wondering if this is going to happen again due to heat. But anyway, speaking of lots of games to play in the VR MetaQuest Gaming Showcase is getting even closer. Okay, we're like 2.5 weeks away. Actually, it might be 2 weeks exactly from the time you're listening to this, actually. And Meta has been just teasing on the Twitters, just teasing. They've put up a video with like pixelated images over and over again. And they've done two specific tweets.
I forgot to look at it. I really have no idea what this is.
They've got two specific tweets with emojis on a hint of a game. At least we think it's just one game. So let's kind of decipher this.
No, I think it's multiple games.
Okay, let's think of the first one. Okay, for the audio listeners, I'm gonna kind of tell you what these emojis are. So the first tweet is a spider emoji, a tree, a factory, a bike, and a rundown house that has like its windows and doors boarded up. So that's a spider, tree, factory, bike, rundown house. What do we think this is?
I don't know. They did the pixels one too, but what? A shower? I don't know. Oh, the spider one.
That's the next one.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Sorry, they're out of order.
In the script? Okay, my bad.
In the script.
But the listeners don't know that.
Yeah, I think this one could be a GTA, is what I think.
It looks like
I also think it could be a spider. Like, is that a Spider-Man and GTA? So that's why I think it could be two. What's a spider got to do with GTA?
Well, first of all, Spider-Man's owned by Sony, so why would they put it on Quest when they could just have a Spider-Man for PlayStation?
I don't know.
Unless they wanted to branch it out for both. But
maybe it was a trade for Beat Saber.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You've got the rundown house and the bike, was this very GTA San Andreas. So yeah, San Andreas it starts off.
And the factory,
you on a bike? Is the factory for GTA, I guess?
It could be. It could be. That's
yeah, it's a city thing. The tree is like the countryside area in GTA San Andreas. And the spider, I guess the spider's in the forest. The spider's the only one that I'm not sure. I don't know. I've played GTA San Andreas loads of times. It's been ages, but loads of times. And I don't remember any specific spider kind of reference unless I'm like a rival gang. I'm pretty sure there's no spider kind of reference. So, but that's the only thing I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's just one game, to be honest.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you any idea? Any idea? You just San Andreas, probably?
That's what I think.
Okay. So that's San Andreas. That's the first.
I don't know. I don't know what else that could be. A bicycle house. I mean, I'm not very imaginative here, but I mean, I just really don't know what else that could be.
Okay. Let's try and go for the second one. It might be a bit easier. I say easier like we know the answer. We don't. So we got a shower head. We shower with water coming out. We have, it looks like a sponge with soap.
Yeah, soap, yeah.
Soapy sponge. We have a wave. We have a dude's bicep. And then we have a Atari controller. Yep. This just screams Power Washing Simulator, that game that came out, which is not VR at all.
VR is on their roadmap, though.
Yeah. So that could be Power Washing Simulator. Because I feel like that would be a very satisfying game to play in VR, and everyone was shouting on VR when that came out. I'm not saying that Power Washing is exciting as GTA, but still.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah?
Wow. I mean, yeah, at first I was just going to say, like, well, I guess it's not going to be a game we know about, so it couldn't be pixel ripped.
It could be. I mean, GTA we know about.
Yeah, do we? We haven't heard shit yet.
I guess. But we know it was announced.
Yeah, dude. Power, because that is, you got power, you got washing, and you got an arcade.
I don't know the control. The controller's the one's throwing me off again. I don't know anything to do with that. Like the controller's throwing me off, and then the spider and the other one's throwing me off. But apart from those, I would say that's GTA and power washing. Cracked it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it could be like shower simulator.
Showers. For full immersion, make sure you're completely naked.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's a multiplayer option as well. Co-op.
What? Yeah.
I'll scrub your back, you'll scrub mine. Oh boy, that's hilarious.
Now in Horizon Home. Horizon Worlds.
Yeah, shower your avatar in Horizon
Power
Worlds.
wash. Yeah, it's got to be power wash. What else could be soapy and strong?
It came straight to me as soon as I saw it. I just looked at it and was like, I didn't even think of the strong, I'm not gonna lie. I just thought of the first three and I was like, that looks like power wash. Because I just remember recently seeing it as well, because it's only just come out. And I just remember everyone was like, why is this not in VR? This looks like a VR title. So there we go. Let us know, for the listeners and the watchers, let us know what you think these two games are. I'm just presuming it's just one game. But let me know what you think.
Comment below.
Comment below. Say it's in the Discord. I'm curious.
We should put a poll in the Spotify. Do you think this is GTA or and Power Wash or something else? Comment below. Boom.
Beauty. I will add a note. If I forget, that's why it's not there. Add a poll in Spotify.
I'll try to remind you.
Okay. Beauty. All right, so that will do for part one. And part two, we'll talk about the news, which has a lot of Apple stuff in there. So stay tuned.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part two, the VR news. So the first one, let's talk about Apple. Okay, we got a couple of news. I'll read out the news first, and we can talk about it. So we have Apple has trademarked xrOS ahead of the expected headset reveal in a month's time. It is done. Well, it's spotted by The Verge with Parker Ortolani was the person from The Verge. Essentially, it's supposedly heavily rumored that xrOS has been trademarked by this company called Deep Dive, which apparently is a shell company of Apple, which is what big corporations normally do when they trademark things, just so they don't go, oh, that's Apple and such.
It's not as obvious.
Yeah, not as obvious. Also, the very reliable supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has claimed that it's highly likely coming next month, and it will be noticeably less heavy than the Quest headsets. We'll have an OLED display, and we'll house the M2 chipset, which is the current chipset in all of the latest. It's gonna be a laptop MacBooks. On your face. Yeah. It's the Apple conference is on June 5th. And also, according to Ming-Chi Kuo, he quoted that Apple expects to sell just one headset per day per retail store, and has told suppliers that it expects sales of 7 to 10 million units from the first year of availability. And the final thing, then we'll talk about it. The Oculus founder, previously at Oculus, Palmer Luckey, also tweeted that the Apple headset is so good. That's it. Left it. Mic drop. Everyone can comment going, whoa, no, what the hell?
He did follow it up, I believe. There was there was more to the quote. I forget what article I read, but I did read more. And what he said was, I think their following approach is smart strategy. They want to make VR something everybody wants before making it something everybody can afford.
Sounds like a lot of the way Apple approaches most things.
It's And I was like, wow, that's the inverse of Meta.
Yeah, I mean that's just how Apple is. It's like say the Apple Watch, for example. No one really had smartwatches or cared about smartwatches, and when it came out, it was like, what the hell is this? And then now everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna have a smartwatch. That's just everyone just has one. Same with the AirPods, and everyone now has wireless headphones like those and such, whether it's AirPods or a different brand or such. So that's just the way they do it, which is just
except for their HomePod, but that one they were following other people.
Yeah, they do follow people sometimes. I mean, a lot with their I'm not sure on Mac software as much because that's like kind of more of a different approach to PC. But the iPhone software kind of follows a lot of what Android has already done. They just kind of wait until they've kind of perfected their own version, or sometimes they just put it out exactly the same because they'll just accept that it's just as good on Android and such. But first of all, there are a few things to say on this. But first of all, Samson, does an Apple headset excite you at all? As more of a PC user,
I might have to dip into my savings for this baby, or get a new job, or take up a fifth job. I'm hugely interested.
I'm interested, but the thing is with Apple is that normally their first gen products are very first gen.
100%.
And then it's the second gen where it really shines. But there was quotes, I can't remember who, I want to say Mark Gurman said this as well, where it's rumored that the second one is more for a 2025 release than a 2023.
2 years.
I'm getting very hot in this room.
2 years.
What excites me a lot about this is the chipset. It uses the M2 chipset, and as a Mac user, the laptop I use is M1, but it's so heat. What's the word for it? So good
at dispersing heat.
Yeah, so good at its heat dispersion. There's the heat efficiency, thermal efficiency, I think is what I was trying to go for there. But it's so good. Like if we're recording this podcast, if I'm editing a video on Final Cut Pro, the fans don't even come on. The fans don't even come on. I've never heard my fans in my MacBook Pro. And also battery life.
You have no fans.
I have two. There should be two in there. Or one or two. I don't know. I can't remember. I think there's two in the MacBook Pro. But as well as that, the battery performance is ridiculous. Like my MacBook runs for 20 hours. Like if it has decent enough charge, I'm like, okay, I don't need to bring it. I've never bought a charger when I've gone out with my laptop because I was like, I don't need it. It's going to be fine for the whole time I'm going to be out and such. So those two things really excite me because this headset could be very thermal efficient and it also could run, or maybe, supposedly, depending on looking at the chipset, it could run for a long time.
I mean, it's just... everything about it excites me. It's going to have the OLED lenses. It's going to be form factor. It's going to be comfortable. It'll have full integration, I'm sure, with my phone and my watch.
Yeah.
Since it'll have every single iPad app that's out there, you assume that you'll be able to like read in it because iBooks will be there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This thing's going to be like a complete laptop computer. It'll be like buying a computer. That's what this is going to be like. It's not like buying a VR headset to use with my current computer. It's just going to be really cool, I think. And I'm curious about like potential Apple TV integration or like when they purchase Next VR, if they'll bring some sports or something like this.
Yeah, because I've had that they've purchased that a long time ago and they've just not done anything with it.
Yeah.
Well, at least not yet. But no, I could see that. I could see that in the conference, them having a big, like, reel of, I don't know, the baseball, and you can be there right front row at,
It's definitely, like, it's not the gamer in me that wants this and is excited, but it's, like, the tech enthusiast that's just, like, likes the cool shit. Like, I doubt it'll be great. All my excitement is outside of potential games, so whether or not I can play any games on it, obviously it'll play iPad like flat games like that, but
sure, yeah. It's not a game. It's not like, even if it can run the games, you're not buying it for the games. It's like the Quest Pro in a way. Like, sure, it can run the games, but most people buying that aren't buying it for that. And it's going to be
That said, the M2's no chump. Like, it'll be able to, good games can run on Macs.
They can. It's just that there's no, it's just the actual developer sporting it. But yeah, good games can run on that M2 well. It's just that if it had Xbox Game Pass, not cloud but standard on Mac, then it should be able to run most of those games with that chipset. It's very powerful, and it has all the GPU and everything in-house in that one chip, and that's why it's so efficient and everything. Everything's just in that one little chip. It's a breakthrough in chipsets, and to have that in a VR headset is going to be very, very exciting. And to me, I know it's been rumored for so long, but to me, the announcement or the strong rumors of it's pretty much going to be here it's going to be shown in 3 weeks' time, came out of nowhere for me, because it always still felt like a distant thing. Or maybe it was just for me, I was just always just putting it on the back burner, because like, yeah, they've been talking about Apple Car for ages and such. Like, eventually this will trickle through, maybe at the end of the year, maybe next year or something like that. And then it's just like, no, it's
no, I feel like I've known it was going to be at their summer, like the
WWDC. Yeah.
And then it'll probably release in the fall, right? They announce it now and it'll release in the fall, or do they release do they shadow drop it?
No, they'll release it in they'll probably release it for pre-order a week. They normally do pre-order a week after, if not a month after, and then it will probably come out, I would say, in like December.
You think that long?
Yeah, because like the way Apple works is that they normally have their iPhones.
I mean, the phones come out, it's like September, October, right?
Yeah, iPhones are September, October. iPads are normally towards the end of October. So I could see a November/December release. Plus, the Mac Pro, which is their biggest, beefiest Mac, which isn't the most powerful one anymore, that needs to be updated, and you'll see that next week, in a couple weeks too. But when that got released, that was also a December. It was shown early, and then December it was going to come out. So I'm just thinking, they've done December Christmas releases. Yeah, it's just going to be very expensive. But Apple does free financing on their website.
Yeah, and I bet if you can get like a teacher email, you could probably get 10% off.
For sure. And I used to work at Apple's retail store. I know a few friends there. So, hopefully. I don't know, it's one of those things that sometimes when it comes to specialty products like that, they don't really have discounts for their employees either. Not for a long time either, but I don't know. I'm like, if money was no object, I would buy this in a heartbeat, because I'm exactly like you. I'm super excited. It's going to be the go-to VR device, and then I'll have my Quest as my gaming device. I don't know. Maybe the PSVR 2 gets really boring by the end of this year, and I'm like, you know what? I'm packing this. I'm selling this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see how much dust it collects. It's already got a nice liquid dust that I need to.
You got to play Walkabout.
I do, yeah. I just haven't been here, right? Walkabout came out last week for PSVR 2. I do want to play that, actually, but just not at the time yet, since I've been away.
Did you buy it on it?
No, I haven't bought it yet, no. I haven't even turned the PS5 on, because I've had this little guide, this little link.
Oh, yes, yes.
Going on. But yeah, I'm very excited. Let us know, people who are listening, commenting... No, listening, videoing, comment and Discord. Let us know what you think. Do we need to open a little Apple News Discord channel? Do people want to talk about it? I'm very excited. Will we need to do a live stream? Will we need to do a live stream for this?
Yeah, I think it's like 4 days later, isn't it?
It's 4 days later. It'll be on Tuesday. Yeah, it'll probably be on Monday or Tuesday, July 5th. Normally the WWDC is also a 2-hour conference. So if people are tuning in for the VR, just remember they're going to cover iPhone software, Mac software, iPad software, but then potentially the new Mac Pro's updated revision. And then most likely that last 40 minutes will probably be on this. So tune in till the end if you want to. I would say I'm not sure they'll open it up with this. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'm pumped. We're gonna have a good few days, and then we also have the PlayStation showcases around that time. We have the Meta showcase, and then we have this. A lot of VR happening. This is gonna be a big year for VR.
I do want to say that the Palmer Lucky tweet is a little unless he's trolling, is a little important, because he did use. I tried the Magic Leap early on too,
the first one.
and he wasn't very impressed with it. So and he was vocal about that. So if he didn't like this, I imagine he'd be vocal about that.
Yeah, because he has no affinity to Apple or anything like that. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Just VR.
he's just just VR because he's like one of the pioneers of it. You know, especially with the Oculus. So
It's the Godfather.
yeah. All right, that will do for the Apple news. Let's move on to the smaller news stories. Hello Neighbor is confirmed next week. It releases on May 25th. We always knew it was going to come out, but we didn't really know if it was going to be more of a PlayStation VR 2 first kind of thing and then Quest. But no, everything's day and date. Quest, PC VR, PSVR 2. That comes out on May 25th next week. And next week we will have our thoughts on it because we did get a copy of the game, but we're just embargoed. So we will have our thoughts on it next week. Yeah, who knows? This game could be amazing. This game could be shite. Who knows? For those who don't know, by the way, it's a VR horror puzzle game where you have to go into your neighbor's house, try and find keys and such, and trying to rescue your friends. And you got this neighbor. Why does the neighbor kidnap the friends? That's the question. I don't know. I haven't played Hello Neighbor ever before. But this was on my wish list when the PlayStation VR 2 first got announced. But now I have it on Quest, so I'll just play them there. But we'll talk about that more next week. Moving forward, next Quest update, V54, might allow you to set a custom Skybox. This was just found in the... I think there's a like a beta kind of channel, public test channel for updates. When I mean by Skybox is that if you have your Oculus Home, you could have like an area which has like this massive picture or
well, they
such.
all have them, I believe. Like every Oculus Home has like a sky. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could personalize that yourself. So a little bit more of a personalization. Are you gonna do anything about that? You're gonna put a big...
I mean, it'll give you... I believe it's going to give you 3 options, and then you can also upload your own. So I'll at least peruse their 3 options.
Yeah. Fair enough. Moving swiftly on, DeadHook VR. We mentioned this on a podcast a couple weeks ago or so. It's the game that is similar to Doom VFR. It's like a roguelike shooter game, but it's inspired by that kind of mechanics and the way it looks.
It's the one that's done by the developers of Stride and Against and all those.
It has been delayed for important business reasons, and the quote was, due to unforeseen changes in the Meta release calendar, which is a very interesting delay, right? Not that the game's not bad or like just not ready yet or something. It's just that Meta has just changed the release dates for it. So maybe they're going to do, after the gaming showcase, they're going to do, okay, from now till the end of the year, they're going to have like a fixed big
They just
releases.
wanted more control.
Yeah. Maybe I want 2 big games coming out in July, 2 big games August, 2 big games September, etc. Just so it's
They're
more
just going to assume they're going to be big games.
Yeah. But it's more of a consistent release. Well, I don't know.
Every Thursday games come out. What do you mean?
They do, but like the big, maybe they're assuming that this is going to be a bigger title or such. I don't know. That's what
I guess. I don't know.
I know every Thursday.
It's not finished.
It's probably just not finished. They're just take your time. Okay, on to the next one, which I think is exciting for someone. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. Have you played Dungeons and Dragons before?
Just once.
Just once.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't like RPGs generally. I'm not that creative. I lack imagination when nothing's there. Like I can't just make things up in my head and like put my. I can't
You're
get
not
immersed.
going to be a dungeon master.
I can't get immersed. However, I could possibly get immersed in a VR version of Dungeons and Dragons if only there was an option.
One. So a new game called Dungeon Full Dive has been announced for, unfortunately, just PC VR later this year. Not the Quest. Hopefully one of that Quest will come if it does well. But it's going to be like a Dungeons and Dragons like games. So you're going to have a dedicated map builder, so you can build your own map. You can create your own heroes, so you can create your own like avatars or heroes in there. You can modify character sheets in game. You can interact with visual activities such as like playing instruments or like battling fire-breathing dragons. There's going to be cross-play between the VR version and the PC version, so there's going to be a flat screen version as well. It's up to 8 players, and here's the coolest part. You can play in classic tabletop mode or from the eyes of your miniature as well. So
First person.
I'm wondering that this is what I'm picturing. As someone who's not played D&D, this could be completely wrong, so ignore me. I just get all my knowledge from Stranger Things. So if one's a dungeon master, they could be like on the flat screen PC version on tabletop mode. Right? They could be the dungeon master calling all the shots and such. And all the actual characters in there, they could be on their VR headsets in the actual eyes of their miniature, so on the actual grounds. And I think that'll be really fun. Really fun and really immersive as well. I think this is a great idea to bring this kind of game to VR, to be honest. I'm surprised it's not done already.
Imagine I could find a group to try this out, so I will probably try it.
Yeah, and I know the people in our Discord...
Like up Doc's alley, yeah.
Yeah, up Doc's alley. I know some people in our Discord are into D&D. So this could be one on your radar if you have a PC. For sure. But I think this can be exciting. It looks decent in terms of the screenshots, but who knows? We'll see.
It does.
It's going to be on Steam's early release. Is it early release or beta release? Steam early access?
I don't know what they call that. I'm not sure.
Whatever that Steam early thing is for non-Steam.
Oh, early access, probably?
Early access, yeah. It'll be on that later this year. They've not an actual date for it. Beauty. And then the final news story of the day. VRChat is to lose support at Quest 1 next month. Now, this is not really a surprise because everything's starting to lose support at Quest 1. The Quest 1's been out for ages. Don't be so sad. You've got your Quest 2 just above you. And you might have your beautiful Apple one in a few months' time.
The dozens of people who still played VRChat on their solely just Quest 1 will be sad.
They will be. But this is the reason why I wanted to bring this up, is because it's an interesting reason. They go, this is primarily due to Meta's depreciation of the Quest 1 SDK, which will prevent us to keeping VRChat updated properly on the device. And therefore, pretty much every game is now done in terms of updating it for Quest 1.
Chris, yeah.
Which is interesting. One domino falls, everything falls, you know. The domino being the SDK.
It's good because developers have had to build for the lowest denominator, and now the lowest denominator is the Quest 2.
Yeah, and that's pretty decent as a denominator, to be honest, until the Quest 3 comes out, but we'll see. A lot of people think that the Quest 3 is going to be unveiled in 2 weeks' time. I would highly doubt that, just for those.
Yeah, I imagine if we get anything, it'll be like a tease of some sort, but not like
an incredible tease. Yeah, it'll be an incredible tease at best, but I doubt it. I think it's just going to be games.
Or like expect this, in October, or whatever.
Yeah, one thing, I guess in maybe a week's time, actually, thinking about dates, maybe next week, actually, we'll have our predictions for the Quest gaming showcase. But one thing I'm excited about, just on top of my head here, is that we'll finally get the Ghostbusters release date, because that should have been out by now. You just scared everyone listening.
I don't want to do any more because we'll
copyright.
Get demonetized.
Copyright. But no, I'm excited to actually see that game because we've been waiting for that. So a lot of games on the horizon. Anyway, that will do for part 2. That's the VR news. In part 3, we'll talk about our game out this week and all the flat screen fun stuff that we probably want to talk about. All right, till then. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show. Welcome back to part 3, games out this week and anything else. Samson, take it away.
Yes. Rube Goldberg Workshop comes out May 18th, which is the day of release. Unless you're a patron. Please, patron. We love y'all. In Rube Goldberg Workshop, you can make tons of different machines from over 80 components. Go from virtual reality to mixed reality, and back again, and use objects and surfaces in the real world as part of your creations. Bounce basketballs off your ceiling and into a set of drums. Use your kitchen table to set up an epic car stunt jump, equipped with fireworks and all. That was read really oddly. I'm sorry. If you can imagine it, you can build it. push the boundaries of your imagination in a game made for mixed reality. The game looks cool. It's basically you want to play it in pass-through, so it's definitely not really ideal for the Quest 2 because it's
more
weird,
Quest Pro or Quest 3, to be honest.
But the idea is cool.
I mean, it feels like if I was 7 years old and had a VR headset, I'd have the best time, because one of those where you can build, like we were just speaking about dominoes, we can have like 100 dominoes and just...
I taught second grade for a year, and we built a bunch of these.
Yeah, exactly. So now you can... maybe that's your pathway back to second grade, is you bring the VR headset.
Yeah, the Adam Sandler... Billy Madison. He did that. Yeah.
Okay. I was like so confused.
I do want to say, sorry, I forgot. Also, I did play another game, and I'm going to mention it next podcast, just because we probably lost 85% of the listeners by now. But Disc Golf Heiser Flip. One of our patrons got this for me. Thank you. And yeah, it's a disc golf game. It's really early on. Like, it is buggy. And still in the process of being developed. But like, if you're into disc golf and you're into wanting to be a part of trying to make the game better, it's pretty cool. You can customize the discs, and you can change how they fly, basically, nice. And the art style and the color. Yeah, it's pretty basic. It's a simple game. It feels early on. But yeah, I threw a few discs. It felt pretty good. I was able to throw it about 200 yards, which is about half as what I should be able to do, I guess. But with more practice. But yeah, if you're interested in disc golf, you might want to try it out. It's on Apple.
How's it compared to the other disc golf game?
Yeah, so that one got depreciated or whatever. Like, the guy gave up on it. There's a pretty solid YouTube documentary on it. I put it in our Discord. Okay. But yeah, it's basically he developed it for 2 years, and his girlfriend or fiance or wife supported him, and then it just basically drew him. He went mad over it, basically, and never really I think he said he made like 5K. Yeah,
5K. Damn.
So yeah. He just had to give up on the project, I think.
Damn, that's sad to hear. Because I remember playing that. Yeah, I remember getting a code for that, actually. I mean, maybe it was a problem with me of using the code rather than paying for it. All right, just to wrap up the show, flat screen stuff. Been playing Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, recently.
You made a Ford F-150 or anything?
No, honestly, I've not even got past the first area. So the first area is, if you've ever played the Breath of the Wild, the first area is just kind of the same, where you're just learning how to play the game in terms of learning all the new mechanics and such. I'm not going to say any spoilers, by the way, but so I think I'm just an idiot. When it comes to like the plane one, where you're trying to like put fans on the plane and get it to fly, I can't get the bloody thing to fly. I'm stuck already. So I think I'm just creatively, I see all these people doing all these mad things. I see PJ's Twitter doing all these like really fun things, and I'm like, I can't even get the bloody plane to fly.
My college buddy, he texted me about the game, and he's like, dude, I haven't had to watch so many YouTube, like look up so many guides before
to figure out. Yeah.
He's like, I feel like an idiot.
I feel like an idiot right now. I'm not going to look it up yet, but if I can't do it by the end of today, I'm going to have to look up how to fly the plane. I'm not even past like 10, 15 minutes of the game. you know, funny. And I've been playing it for like an hour, 2 hours plus or something at this point. But yeah, the only thing I was going to say is, how you liking your Steam Deck? And now you've had it for a while.
Yeah, I've been playing Shadow of War lately for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord of the Rings game ran pretty well.
Yeah.
And then I started to do Emu Deck, which is like the emulator.
Emulators, yeah.
But it wanted me to plug in a jump drive for the ROMs.
Oh,
and my USB hub wasn't working, and that like it's not supplying enough power, so it doesn't see the jump drive. Then my buddy just told me to do some other way that I haven't looked up how to do it yet.
Yeah, you can do it if another way by just plugging it in and just copying the files over rather than having EmuDeck kind of. I've just been watching loads of videos on it because I just decided I was like, okay, after
did you
Zelda,
get one?
No, but I've just decided after Zelda, I think that's the end of my Switch. I think it's time. You know, it's had its day. I've played the games. I've played pretty much all the ones I've wanted to play.
It is the Switch's swan song, so.
This is the last one, and I'm like, after I finish Tears of Kingdom, which might take me a while, it might take me a few months, you know, but...
I mean, you got to keep it around for the multiplayer games. You can't sell your Switch.
Well, my girlfriend has a Switch too, so I'm just counting on her to... I said to her, I said, I'm going to sell my Switch. I'm counting on you to bring the Switch over when I want to play it. But yeah, I think that'll be the end. And I've been buzzing. I've been looking at a lot of Steam Deck stuff, and actually, I was like, I'm gonna get this for sure.
How much can you get for a used Switch? Like $200?
Well, I have the OLED. I have the OLED
okay.
one as well. And plus, if I sell that with Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like I can get pretty much close to decent. You know, I think I can pretty much pay off the Steam Deck almost.
Well, you must be thinking about the Asus thing then.
No, I did have a look at the Asus one, and I just don't like the way it runs Windows. I just want...
You hate Windows that much?
I just don't...
It's not like you like Linux.
No, it's not like I like
Linux. I guess
Linux,
the Steam Deck does feel more like a console.
Yeah, Steam has its own interface on top, and the Asus one kind of... It does, but it doesn't. And I looked at lots of stuff with the Asus one, and it's just... Oh, also, it's more expensive as well, and yeah, I don't think it's the one for me. I think I want something like the Steam Deck, and plus, it's more for all the emulation. Like, I want to have all the like the other Zeldas on there, like Wind Waker and such like that I can just play.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can technically do that with the Asus one, but it's just way less expensive.
And then you don't need to do Dreamcast and those games on your other thing. You can do them on the Steam Deck.
The little one's great for like your Game Boy ones that I have.
It's great for everything Genesis and before, I think.
Exactly.
Really. Yeah.
Like on the plane, for people who don't know, I bought this. What's it called? I have it in my drawer. I should have brought it out, but it's called the Ambinic RG85X or something like that. But it's like a small Game Boy essentially, which can run ROMs on it. And yeah, on the plane back from Toronto, I didn't bring my Switch with me, which I should have because I had Zelda. But I brought the little Game Boy Pocket, or Game Boy Pocket, I would call it, like a little thing. And I was just playing Super Mario Brothers Advance, which is like the Super Mario World, I think, which was on the SNES. And it just ran, it looks perfect, and it was beautiful. And I was like, this is exactly what I kind of want. Perfect, yeah, just perfect. So, yeah. But no, I'm thinking
get
the deck later. But then, who knows? This Apple headset might be so good. I'm like, what am I doing? I just put my money towards that thing.
That's what I would do too, yeah.
At this point, you know. And maybe the deck, maybe I'll wait till the second deck comes out with a nicer screen in a couple years or 3 years or however long it's going to take. But I don't know. But anyway, that's the flat screen talk for Let's Talk Oculus. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Next week, I believe, if I got my dates right, is going to be the predictions episode for the gaming showcase. So if you have any predictions of your own, we would love to hear them because we'll feature them on the show. So put them in the comments, put them in the Discord and such, and then we will read them out and react to them. And most likely our predictions are going to be terrible, but it'll be good fun. We'll have a great time.
Yes. And if you're trying to get into Zenith, I think I might be trying to play that new class. So, you know, get in our Discord.
Yeah, tweet it on the Discord. All right, thanks everyone. Talk to you later. Or let's talkulus.
Let's talkulus.
I was waiting for you to say it.
I forgot.